All right, guys, so this is pretty cool. I just flipped this rock over looking for whatever, and I found something, and it's actually pretty funny. Look at this. It's a mouse. I think there's 2 mice here, and I think that they're unaware that I can see them. Look at him. Look at the little mousey. And he's just chilling. Look at him. How cool is that? Oh, there he goes. And there he goes. He's gone. I think his buddy's under this rock right here. We're gonna see if we can get a look at him too. Oh, there he goes. Bye, guys. Sorry for disturbing you. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Happy Trails Outdoor Experience. My name is Ryan, and today me and Ashley are out here, and we've been doing a little bit of fishing lately. We've been doing a little bit of camping lately. One thing that we haven't done a whole lot of lately is foraging. So today is all about foraging. We're gonna try to find as many plants that are edible out here today as we can. With that being said, right off the bat, look at this right here. This beautiful plant right here is called mullein. These big fuzzy leaves, these nice yellow flowers that grow off this plant. This is a good plant, mainly because it's anti-inflammatory for your lungs. It can be used as a tea. It can be made into a tincture. The leaves can be smoked. You can also use the leaves as toilet paper, although some people do say that the hairs on these leaves are irritating. I've personally used this plant as toilet paper, and it's probably some of the softest toilet paper I've ever used, and I did not get irritated from it. With that being said, these little yellow flowers that come off of this plant can be made into an ear oil. And that's about it with mullein. Let me think here. They're biennial plants, which means the first year they're very small, and then the second year they get very, very tall. And that plant right there is taller than I am, and I'm 5'9", so this guy here has to be at least 6 foot, at least. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, we're gonna get this adventure started, and we're gonna see what we can get into today. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You can always tell a wineberry because they have these very fuzzy, I don't know what you would call them, capsules that are around the berries. Buds, yeah, very fuzzy buds that will open up, and then the berries are inside of them once they're ripe. The buds will open up, and then the berries will expose themselves, and then they're ready to pick, and that's cool. But we're here a little early, so we don't have a whole lot to pick from. We might come back here next week. And there's a bird's nest back there. You can see that's pretty cool. Wow. And I was actually wrong. I misidentified. These are actually blackberries. These are blackberries. These are wineberries. Totally different plants growing right next to each other.
I would say there's a mix.
Yeah, there's definitely a mix here, and that's my bad. But yeah, you can tell the stem on this one has thorns all over it, no hairs whatsoever. The wineberries also have thorns all over them, but the difference is that the wineberries are very, very hairy. So, but we're gonna try to pick some of this stuff and see what we can come up with. We're definitely gonna come back next week though, when all of these are opened up and ripened and ready to pick. So, all right, guys, we're gonna pick some of these berries and we're gonna carry on.
They're very sour.
Ooh, yummy. Yum, yum. Well, we're just walking down the trail here to a known mushroom spot to see if there's any chanterelles yet. And here's a pretty good find. Here we have some fresh wood ears. And this is a jelly fungus. And they are edible. And you can see why they're called wood ears. Now, they're not everybody's favorite wild mushroom to forage, but I like them. They do give some people gas. I'm not one of those people. I'm pretty tolerant to mushrooms. But yeah, wood ears. Figured I'd show you guys that. That's pretty cool. And they are all over this log. All over it. There's some older ones here. Some nicer specimens down here. There's a daddy longleg. And I just recently learned that daddy longlegs are not the most venomous spider in the world. That is a myth. I always thought that to be true. And not only are daddy longlegs not the most venomous spider in the world, they're not venomous at all. And they're not even spiders, technically. They are arachnids, but they are technically not spiders. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're gonna head on down this trail and we're gonna see what we can find. And if anything interesting happens, you guys know the drill. I will be showing you. Go! 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 What? What? Go! Yigi! Alright guys, so we're just a little bit further down the trail now, and as you can see here, we found ourselves some chanterelles. These guys aren't too bad. With chanterelles, the only thing you really got to watch out for is you got to know how to identify these guys based off of the gills. There is a lookalike called jack-o'-lanterns, and jack-o'-lanterns are toxic. They're bioluminescent, which means they glow in the dark. Yeah, there's actually mushrooms that glow in the dark. Pretty cool. The chemical that causes the mushroom to glow in the dark is called luciferin, which is pretty cool. So that's cool. That's good to know. If you're foraging out here, you've got to know the plant you're looking for, how to identify it, and you also need to know the lookalikes, because there are a lot of lookalikes out here with mushrooms and plants alike that it only takes one time to really mess up and poison yourself. So you got to know what you're looking for. With chanterelles, you'll see the gills here. They don't have true gills. They have something called a false gill, and they're more like veins that run down the stem. You can see that there. But these are definitely chanterelles, and I'm gonna pick these guys, so that's pretty cool. We're gonna bag these up and take them home. Hopefully we'll find some more, because this is just a little flush, but I know where a big flush is. Hopefully we'll have a good year. Everything seems to be a little behind this year, so we'll give it a couple more weeks, come back here, and there should be plenty for us, in theory. But I'm gonna harvest these chanterelles, and we'll continue on to see what else we can find out here. Also, whenever you're harvesting your mushrooms, especially ones like boletes or chanterelles, it's a good practice, and it's not like 100% necessary, but I do it. I always take a knife and I cut the dirty part off that was attached to the ground before I put it in my bag. And that just makes it easier for you when you go home to make sure everything is clean. Because in my experience, chanterelles are one of the mushrooms that are a little bit harder to clean. They get pretty dirty, especially after a good rain. The dirt will splash up, and sometimes it can be pretty hard to get all the dirt out from underneath of them. A good way to clean your chanterelles is to soak them in water for a little while and then take a toothbrush and try to get the dirt out of those gills. But these ones are pretty clean, so not too much of a pain there. And as you can see, there are actually 2 chanterelles that grew together here, so that's pretty cool too. Also, when you're foraging mushrooms, it's also a good practice to use a mesh bag, because as you're carrying your bag through the woods, these mushrooms are going to continue to drop their spores wherever you're walking, and then you're spreading the seeds of the mushroom so they can inoculate the ground below where you're walking, and then more mushrooms can grow all over the forest for years to come. So that's just a way to ensure sustainable harvesting as well. So, but anyway, gonna harvest these up. We're gonna continue on. Okay, so we just found this little tree growing right here, and this is actually really cool. This just comes with experience. So you take a good look at that leaf, and walking past this, it looks just like any other thing that's growing out here. The key identifying feature to this plant is when you break it open or you rub it between your fingers, you give that a good sniff, and you're gonna notice a very pleasant smell coming from this plant. This is called spice bush, and eventually this plant will have berries on it. You can eat them, but they're not very pleasant. They're very strong. They can cause upset stomach in some people. But, you know, some people will break the sticks off of this plant and use them in a tea. And Ashley over here just let me know that this is actually used as a blood purifier. It induces sweating. So it's kind of like a detox plant. So that's cool. But it does smell great. It smells awesome. Before we knew exactly what this plant was, we used to call it sweetwood, because this whole plant smells great. I tasted the berries, and I can contest that they don't really taste that great. But yeah, spice bush. Pretty cool. Here's a plant we know. Take a good look at that. This is garlic mustard, and I used this in one of my other videos to cook bluegill with. And if you use these plants to cook with, it will give your entire dish a very nice, pleasant, not overpowering garlicky taste. And it does taste just like garlic. You crush the leaves up, give it a good sniff, and that's definitely garlic. So yeah, I cooked my bluegill with that, and it gave it a really nice taste. So yeah, garlic mustard, and that's totally edible. You can throw these leaves in a salad. You can eat them just the way they are, and they're actually not bad if you like garlic. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little plant, and this stuff grows everywhere, so very cool. Guys, look at this. This is the first time I've ever found this fungus, and I'm excited for it. This is a very small cluster, but it still is what it is. This is a tremella something something. I don't remember the second half of the name, but this is called witch's butter, and this is an edible fungus. And apparently it doesn't have much of a taste, but it is edible, and a lot of people claim to like it. So I'm gonna give it a little nibble, and we're gonna see what that's about. Just grab that whole little.
I'll do the spit first.
Yeah, not much of a taste at all. Not even a mushroomy taste. Not much at all. But yeah, that's witch's butter, and that's a pretty cool mushroom too. Wild edible fungus. But we're gonna head up this hill right here, because up on top of this hill is one of the biggest clusters of chanterelles that I know of that grow around here. So we're gonna go see how that little cluster is doing, and we're gonna try to keep an eye out for things along the way. Onward.
Flowered anymore.
Here is one of my favorite plants. This is yarrow. Not to be confused with poison hemlock, although if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't never confuse this with poison hemlock, because poison hemlock, the leaves look very, very different than this, and they grow to be like 7 feet tall. They do have white flowers that look very similar. Queen Anne's lace is another look-alike, but Queen Anne's lace, if you eat that, you're not going to be in any trouble. But definitely stay away from water hemlock, because that stuff will definitely kill you via respiratory failure. And so basically you go to sleep and you never wake up again. Just 8 of the leaves off of poison hemlock will be fatal, and the whole plant is extremely toxic. If you brush up against poison hemlock, it will blister your skin like as if you had a chemical burn. But this is definitely yarrow, and you can see that leaf right there. Take a good look at that. Like I said, guys, always do your own research, but yarrow is a great plant. You can make it into a tea. It is very bitter, but it is very good for you. Yarrow is very good specifically for women during their menstrual cycle to relieve cramps. But if you're trying to get pregnant, you definitely don't want to ingest any yarrow at all, because it can complicate things.
I think it's good for like fevers.
Yeah, it's good for fevers, and there's some other really good health benefits that yarrow. You can actually buy yarrow tea right from the store. But yeah, yarrow. And I just like nibbling on this stuff whenever I see it, because even though it's bitter, it's still pretty good for you. All parts of the plant is edible. The flowers, you can throw that in the tea along with the leaves.
Don't forget about the root.
Oh yes, and the root. The root's one of the best parts. So the roots of this plant is probably my favorite part of it. You can see that purple part right there. You can take that off, and if you chew on that, your mouth will go numb. It's kind of like a natural lidocaine almost. Not nearly as strong as actual lidocaine, but if you have a toothache and you chew on this, it'll alleviate some of the pain. So that's really cool.
A coagulant.
Oh yeah, it's also a coagulant, that's right. So if you're bleeding, you can chew up some of this stuff, the leaves along with the roots, and you can put that on your wound, and it will slow down or stop the bleeding depending on the size of the wound. I'm not saying if you go and get shot, or if you have a huge gash in your hand or something, that this is gonna, seal up that wound. But for minor scrapes and everything that are just bleeding, this will coagulate and slow or stop the bleeding. So you can use it as a salve on your wounds. Yeah, yarrow is a great plant. There's a lot to do with this plant right here, and that's not all the information that's all the information I'm comfortable with giving about this plant, because I'm a little rusty. But there's so much having to do with this plant. Do your own research, as always. But this plant right here is definitely one at the top of my boards. But yeah, yarrow, nice. Oh man, guys, look at the size of those chanterelles. Those are some nice looking chanterelles right there. Those are big, fresh. The bugs haven't gotten to them yet. Bugs love chanterelles, so you got to be careful when you're cleaning them that there's not any on the inside. You can see they started to eat that one, but I think it's still good. We'll take these, and like I said before, we'll cut the dirty parts off. And all that's good. That slug is having a bit of a feast. We'll get rid of him. He doesn't want to let go. All right, he's off. And that one's pretty clean, so put that stuff in the bag, and we're gonna carry on. Nice. We have a little bit of a cluster of chanterelles growing right here, up there, and right there. Some of these guys are still very small, so I think we're a little early. Maybe next week when we come back, there'll be more. But we will take some of these. Some of these are big enough for me to take, so we're gonna take what we can, and then we'll come back for more later. But we're not doing too bad. Got at least enough for a dinner in there already, so I'll call that a win for the day. This beautiful plant right here is called bergamot, and it is a wild edible. These flowers that you see on top of here can be made into a tea, and the leaves, if you chew on them, you will notice a very, very, very prominent in-your-face minty flavor. That is because this plant is a member of the mint family. So you can use this to soothe yourself if you have a cold.
I know it's an anti-inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory, Ashley says. Bergamot, yeah. This is a really awesome plant. The flowers that grow off of this are really, really sweet whenever you put them in a tea. They have a really nice flavor. And the leaves, along with that, like I said, very, very minty. Almost overpowering minty. But bergamot is a very awesome plant. And I'm sure that it has its other benefits too, and its other uses. Like I said, I'm just a little rusty, but this is an awesome plant to have around. Beautiful flowers, and basically the whole plant can be used for something. And there's a whole bunch of it growing all over the place back there. So that's awesome. Bergamot. Walk down the path here a little bit and there's some more bergamot. It's pretty awesome. So being an anti-inflammatory, that has its own benefits right there. So it can, I remember I made my grandmother a tea out of this plant one time while we were camping, and she said that it was helping the arthritis in her knee. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Bergamot. Mint family. Awesome plant. Alright everybody, so me and Ashley have decided to break off from the trail, and we're going to follow the creek back to the car. So we are nearing the end of this adventure here, but we're going to walk along the stream and see if there's anything cool to see along the water, which there usually is. We can usually find something cool to find. So if anything interesting happens, we'll let you know. What's up, Trixie Pooch? Look what I got. Little crayfish. He's pretty cool. He's trying to get me right now, but I won't let him. But cool little thing. I'll let this guy go. Boop. And there he goes. There's another little buddy right here. I'm gonna get him. He's being nice too. Oh, he's like, now he's kind of freaked out. There he goes. Got ourselves a little salamander. That's pretty cool. He's a big one too. Sweet. He's kind of cute, huh? Put him back. Put him back. All right, buddy. You have a good day. We found another little buddy. We found a little frog. See if we can get him. I love how these animals are just letting me pick them up. They're not even afraid of me at all. Look at him. It's pretty good. He's a little buddy. All right, bud. Put you on this rock. Send you on your way. Boop. What's up, Pooch? Come on, let's go. Alright guys, that is all the time that we have for this adventure today. It is getting dark, so we're going to head back to the car and call it a day. Today was pretty cool. We didn't come up empty-handed. We did get some chanterelles and we're taking those home with us. It is still a little bit early in the season, but that's usually how it goes with me. I'm usually pretty premature with those sorts of things. Anyway, I think that we're going to be coming back here within the next couple of weeks to get those berries once they're ripe. Everything's late this season. I don't know why. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. But anyway, we're definitely going to be back here to collect those berries. By then, maybe some more chanterelles will be popping up amongst other different types of wild edibles. But we definitely didn't come up empty-handed today. We found plenty of cool things. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with us on this adventure. With that being said, if you like these adventures, coming along with us, give us the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all the support that we can get. And we will see you here next week on Happy Trails Outdoor Experience. All right, guys.